because he lives, breathes, eats and earns through stories. Karthik, it's all yours.
Check.
Yeah.
I think.
Karthik, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Check or cash, I will take it.
I think to make sense of the topic of out of the box, I think it's I need to share with you certain challenges that we face as a storytelling enterprise, which are very, very urban challenges and very, very young people challenges. Today, the story is back in a very, very exciting way. There was a certain fear about probably 7 years back that books would no longer be valid. People would no longer be interested in partaking in entertainment, which takes a lot of their time, and therefore all of these urban stories therefore will not get passed down, and therefore the young people would just not care. Today, I think I'll start with the simplest phenomenon, which is the selfie, not the lyric of the Karthick song, but just the concept of the selfie. The selfie tells a story to so many people. It basically says, there's something that happened, and I was there in it, and look at me. All right, that's what the selfie says. The selfie says that the world is happening around me. I am the protagonist of my story. And that's exactly what young people and the youngness in every people is coming out right now. Facebook is just a bunch of stories that we are saying that I am the protagonist, hear my story. And there's so many people on my timeline right now competing to tell stories about themselves. But the most exciting stories are where you are the protagonist as the audience. And therefore, vicariously, even at all points of time, whether it is mega serials or whether it is cinema over the ages, at all points of time, people have seen themselves in the protagonists, seen themselves as being a part of the fabric of the story, and relived those stories. No story is new. I don't think there can ever be a new story. I think at all points of time, we are telling ourselves the same story. Sometimes a story that is vastly different from what you have ever heard before jars with your sensibilities and scares you. And I don't know if we as a generation are ready for that kind of a mirror held to ourselves. I think we'd like to be reminded that the world is great, there will be a happy ending, there will be peak points, and there will be troughs and ebbs and flows, and we will in the end all attain a certain closure. I think this is a story that we as a race constantly tell ourselves, and we say the same story through stories. And at that point of time, I think right now the challenge of being out of the box, I think cinema has ceased to be out of the box, because the format of cinema is always dark room, sitting, the video will play, you have to consume it. You can't change it. You can't sit in a dark room and change what's playing in front of you. You can at most clap. It will, even if you clap, thunderous applause is not going to change the entertainment. A vapid, eerie silence is not going to change the entertainment. Whereas I deal with theatre, and when I started in theatre 10 years back, they told me that theatre is not a viable medium. It's as a medium, it's dead. As a business, it doesn't exist. It ceased to exist long time back. And we had to relook theatre from a young person's perspective. And today I believe theatre is actually going to be the most exciting medium, because it has the opportunity to interact with an audience, and the performance can change as an audience interacts with it. We have the opportunity to play with a lot of things, like for instance, imagine walking into a stage and sitting there and the entire play being played reverse. What if all the actors had their backs to you? What if the play happened behind you and you had to turn and watch the entire play this way? You know, we deal with these kind of exciting challenges where we can surprise audiences at all points of time by changing the format. The story never changes. The story is always the same, because the human mind wants to be reminded of beautiful stories that they have heard down the ages. So the story never changes. Can you surprise them with a format? Because if you don't surprise a young person they're very soon going to go back to a selfie kind of a thing, which is playing a video game or updating their Facebook status messages. I've seen people doing a lot more of, it's not just me watching Karthi the movie that's going to release. It is me commenting on Karthi on Facebook saying, Macha, Rambanda, Tanga, Mudira, and Padon, hey Macha, this doing super. You realize that is the film experience for an audience, not the film. He doesn't give a damn about the film. He wants the entire ambience to be captured, and him watching Karthi is the Karthi movie, if you realize. And therefore, in that sense, I really don't know why films are 2 hours and 45 minutes anymore. I have no idea, but in theatre we have the option of changing all of that, and therefore we keep changing. There are no holy cows in theatre. There's nobody there to tell us what's right and what's wrong, and therefore we keep experimenting with that. And even therefore, in every format, whether it's reading or whether it is video gaming or whether it is, people are out there wanting to hear stories. They want to participate in the stories. They want to be in that story at all points of time. So I think it is up to us as mediums, whether it's publishing, whether it's the press, whether it's cinema, whether it is theatre, at all points of time, it's important for us to involve the readers. And I think Readomania has got that aspect of it right, where the writer, author, the author-reader relationship is now being formed, and therefore probably these stories are going to evolve from a certain organic dialogue between the author and the readers in the future. So maybe that's something that's exciting in the publishing space in the future. But I think it is our job as people putting out creative output out there to be surprising audiences at all points of time. You can't surprise them with a story. You can surprise them with a medium. You can surprise them with the reward. The way the reward is going to come. There has to be a reward, and the reward probably has to be their own experience. So that's just a boring intellectual opinion. I'm sorry.